All right, welcome back to NailsBySora. I hope you are doing well. So I was back and forth in my mind over the past week or so as to whether or not I was actually going to do these nails, because it actually came as a birthday request from Deb. It's her birthday on August 20th, and she loved the last Hello Kitty set, and she wanted to know if I could do another set for her birthday. So, of course I love Hello Kitty. Who doesn't love Hello Kitty? But, sorry, I'm trying to pull up the image that I want to reference. But I don't want to create this idea that I can do everybody's and anybody's requests at any given moment in time. Because aside from the fact that I already have a schedule of ideas for upcoming content, I've now got over 1,000 subscribers, which I'm very happy to have. But if I tried to do custom videos and nail ideas and suggestions for every one of you, it would take my entire lifetime. So I'm going to do this one just because I want to. But also, I am trying to think up ways that I can do maybe monthly birthday sets. So I will maybe post a poll at the beginning of every month for the following month, or maybe halfway through the month for the following month. Like, for instance, if a poll went up tomorrow, it would be for suggestions for September. And then whatever the unanimous or the majority decision would be, then I would do a video at the end of the month for September. So let me know if that's something that you would want, if you would want it to be birthday themed for the collective birthdays in that month, or maybe seasonal themes. Let me know, and I will see if I can add that as a standing monthly addition to my channel. But right now, I'm going to do a melody nail for Hello Kitty. I'm just trying to get the shape of her face, which is oblong, and of course she's got her ears. So I want to leave room for that. But this set is actually going to be Halloween themed Hello Kitty. So Melody is wearing, I'm not exactly sure what she is in this depiction. I think she's maybe dressed up as a cat, because she's got paws and she's got a cat headband on. So I'm going to get in the rough shape of her face. Let me grab a liner brush, and I'm using the Melody Susie liner brushes. And I kind of like going in and just drawing the shapes, you know, filling them in right off the bat. I have trouble drawing the outlines proportionately. So it's easier if something is a bit small to expand it after it's cured, versus if I just draw the entire outline off the bat, then it's a little bit difficult to adjust. So we've got the rough outline of her face, or the rough shape of her face, and then she's got her collar in white also, so I'm going to bring that down before I cure it. I went and drew my ideas. It's been slow again at work at the salon, so I was drawing in my notebook some ideas, and of course knowingly left my notebook at the salon. So I'm actually going with different references, but that's okay. All right, so we've got the white of her collar. I'm gonna pop this in the lamp for a minute's cure. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in her hat and ears. So the background color for this nail is Smell the Rosé from Makartt, and I'm going to be using Electric Flamingo, also from Makartt, to go in and do her hat and ears. Is it a hat? What exactly is it? I don't know. So we're just going to bring it on top. I'm going to switch to my liner brush and bring the collar up and around. So the image I'm referencing is from a bobblehead design, a Funko Pop. So if it looks a little bit more bobbleheady, that would be why. Trying to see dimension. I always make things a little bit smaller than they are. So I'm trying to be as exact as possible. All right, going in for the ears, I almost dipped my pink brush into the white. This is going to go up at an angle. I'm gonna have to do some shading because they're going to overlap. All right, so I went and did a second coat, and I got a hair. Second coat of her face and her hat and ears. And now I'm going to go and put in her facial features. So I need a large dotting tool that I'm going to proceed to drop and get gel paint on. Black. We need black. Why am I so messy today? We're gonna try not to get our fingers in that. I'm gonna do one dot there. And one dot there. And I'm going to make them, I'm actually going to remove it. They need to be further spaced out. I hate trying to erase black, so it ends up making it look muddy. Let's clean up my dotting tool. And try that again. I'm gonna go with the smaller dotting tool on the other side. There and there. Now I'm gonna go in with some yellow to do her nose. Could have just stayed with the black because now I have to do her mouth. And those two need to come up more also. Lovely. And I still managed to get gel paint all over my fingers. What is going on today? I would like to know. So her mouth is kind of like a teardrop. So I'm going to pull that little dot up into a point. And then instead of using the dotting tool, I'm going to go in with my striping brush to put in her nose. And then she's got, actually let me cure this because I have to go in up under her eyes. So underneath her eyes, she's got some orange cheeks. And that actually finishes her facial features. So while that's there, I am going to go in and put in her headband, which I know is going to give me trouble. So once again, going in with the dotting tool, the center of, how? I didn't even touch the sidewall of the pot. The center of her bow is a cat's face, and it's slightly wider than it is tall. And I'm going to use the paint that's already on the nail to pull up the ears. I'm going to turn it upside down and just make a triangle going out to one side. Rotate the nail a little bit and do the same on the other side. Scratch the itch on my nose. So surprisingly, even though I didn't really measure, the cat head is in the right position vertically. It should be slightly tilted a little bit more to the left with the ears going up at an angle, but I'm not too worried about that. The only problem is that the bow on either side of the cat face comes up next to her ear over here, but the edge of her ear is coming right next to it. So I might have to adjust the positioning after the fact, but I'm gonna go ahead and put in the bow and then we will deal with it afterwards. So the bow is black and white striped. I'm gonna do the black stripes and then I'm going to do the white stripes. I will be fixing the black lines. I should have maybe just drawn out the bow and then put in either the black or white lines, because this is looking strange. Okay, her headband comes around. I'm definitely going to have to adjust her ear. Try to put in her the cat's eyes before this goes back into the lamp. It's very tiny though. I don't know if I can do it. I definitely need to put magnifying glasses on my Amazon list. Okay, I mixed in some ultra pink gel paint with my electric Flamingo just to make it a little bit thicker, more of a gel paint consistency. And I'm going to attempt to adjust her ears, which come down over the headband. Just trying to blend some light and shadow to make it look like it comes out into the foreground. Let's do something else now, shall we? Let's go ahead and put in her dress. I'm going back to the black, and I'm just going to draw an A line, I think. Yeah, I'll just go over some areas where I need to. Her paws on either side. And then you've got fill in her dress. All right, so I've done the dress, I've done the edging of her dress, I put in her elbows, and now I'm going to go ahead and put in her legs. This video is taking a lot longer, or I should say this nail is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I'd wanted to do 3 nails, but I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to. And tomorrow is my nail day where I do my nails, so I won't be able to extend it to doing it tomorrow if I want to get it up on the 20th. So obviously she has 2 legs. I'm putting it in as one kind of platform here, but I'm going to go in with shadow gel afterwards to put in some accents and have it represent as 2 legs. I'm gonna go back in with black because I need to put in her tail. And then lastly, before we pop it in the lamp to cure, I'm going to go back in with some orange to do the paw prints on her palms. I'm taking my liner brush and some shadow gel from Nails by Dev. I'm going to go in and lightly outline everything. So I just went in and I put in some stars and moons to give it a little bit of something extra, so it's not just a caricature sitting in the middle of the nail. Now I'm going to go over with some base coat to level it out, and then matte top coat. So I like my caricature studies to be matte. Alright, so here we have our melody nail. I did go in and try to outline her nose because you couldn't really see it too well, but I think I just ended up messing it up. But we're going to put Melody aside for now and move on to Hello Kitty. I've gone and prepared the nail with No Maps from Madame Glam. It's this beautiful orange color that I may end up using on my nails in my next manicure, which I'll be recording tomorrow. But Hello Kitty is either wearing or coming out of a jack-o'-lantern, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the jack-o'-lantern body first, and I'm using glow orange, and I'm just going to map out the area of the pumpkin. I'm going to smooth that out, and then I'm probably going to end up having to do 3 coats to build up the opacity. I want to go and do it as thin as possible so that it cures properly. Alright, we've got our pumpkin. I'm going to go in with some black now to do the jack-o'-lantern. What is all over these pots? I swear, I keep them upright. I don't know why they're always so nasty. Madame Glam, please figure out why your gel pots always get so nasty. Alright, we've got 1 triangle, 1 unintentionally larger triangle, which I'm going to run with because it kind of looks funny. Okay, so for the mouth you want to draw, I'm starting out at the bottom of the mouth. So I'm drawing 2 small triangles and then connecting them at the bottom. And then above that, I'm going to draw a straight line that spans the 2 of them. My humps, my lovely jack-o'-lantern lumps. Then you're going to draw a V on one side, and on the other, another straight line on either side. And then you're going to connect your points into an arc. Now you just have to fill in your blank spaces as if it's a list of men from Taylor Swift. All right, let's move on to Kitty herself. So let me know how many of you knew that Hello Kitty is actually a girl from London dressed up as a kitty cat. Because I always thought Hello Kitty was a cat, but apparently it's a London schoolgirl dressed up like a cat. So let me know if you knew that. So like Melody, she has an oblong head, and her left ear is going to be covered with the top of the pumpkin. So we're going to leave that area blank. And we're going to bring her ear up on the right. All right, let's go and put in her little cap. So that's going to be round as well, or I should say roundish. It's the top of a pumpkin. We have to make sure that we fix that line first and foremost. What line you say? This line, I say. It's gonna go slightly behind her head, and then you've got your scalloped edges from the pumpkin. Let's even out those bare spots. Going into her bow now. We've got another striped bow, black and white, and this time I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to just put in the full bow first. I think I'm actually going to sketch it out with my liner brush. So we've got in the center of her ear, we've got the center of the bow. Not worrying about being too neat with it because it's going to get filled in anyway. And then we've got the right side of the bow and the left side of the bow. Now, once again, I am referencing a 3D object. I am not going to worry about creating dimension with the bows. Well, with anything. I'm not going to make the jack-o'-lantern look rounded beyond its 2D flat roundedness. I'm not going to give any depth to the bow. I just want a 2D representation of Miss Kitty here. Okay, now we're just going to fill it in. Okay, since we are already working with black, I'm going to go in and do her eyes and her whiskers. I'm going to start off with a smaller dotting tool just to mark the area. And then I'm going to make it slightly larger. And then her whiskers are kind of painted on. I'm not exactly sure what this is. What is this? Hello Kitty Halloween Costumes Collectible Vinyl Mini Figures Limited Edition series. I think it's just a statue. so the whiskers are painted on and they don't come off the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to quickly go in and put in her nose as well. No, wrong side. And her nose goes right in the center. Back to the bow, we're going to go back to some white. And the center of the bow is going to go on a diagonal. And then this part's going to be a little difficult because can't see it obviously because it's flat. There's a little indentation from the center of the bows. You know, when you make the loop for the bow, the negative space, there's a delineation of that in 3D. So I'm going to try to mark it out just by drawing the lines. So I'm going to go around in a circle. I'm thinking that looks a little strange. So I'm going to outline the center. Just like so. All right, I think that looks good. So now we're gonna finish off with just some accent lines. I'm going to go and grab, No Maps, which is the background color, to do the lines on the jack-o'-lantern and her hat. Now the hat does have a green stem, but with the nail it's off the side. So I don't think I'm going to be able to put it in. You won't see it. All right, so I did go ahead and put in the green stem. In the reference, it's going off to the left, but obviously off to the left is off the nail and can't exactly cure gel in air. So I decided to put it coming into the nail to the right. And I think that extra pop of color really serves it well. But I wanted to show you how I went in and I did the starbursts in the other nail. And I think I'm going to go in with gold. Although this nail's going to be matte also. So maybe let me matte top coat it and then I'm going to go in with the gold and we'll just leave the gold shiny. But first I'm going to level it out as before with base. Guys, I really love this nail. I may have to redo it for Halloween proper on my nails. All right, so for our inability to get words out, for our stars and moons, I'm going to start off with 3 small dots, like so. I'm going to take my liner brush. I'm just going to wet it a little bit in the paint, not really picking up any more pigments. I just want all the bristles stuck together. I'm going to use the paint that's already on the nail to pull out straight lines in 4 directions. That's going to do it for that one. For the one in the middle, I'm going to do 8 lines. So going out into north, south, east, west as usual. and then going in between those spokes. Now, if you find you're running out of pigment, you can always go pick up a little bit more. And then for this one, we're going to do 4 directions again. Now I'm going to go in and I free-handed it with the last nail, but what might be easier is to go ahead and put down another dot. You can make it a little bit oblong. That'll be the back of the moon. And then all you have to do is once again pull out that pigment into a semicircle. And then even out if there's any sharp corners from the center, just even those out. Or smooth it out rather. All right. So then I just added a few more small dots. Barely touching the nail. And now the Madame Glam gel pop paints don't need a top coat. They dry without an inhibition layer, so I'm going to cure this one and it's going to be done. All right, so moving on to Kuromi is going to be our last nail for this series. Where did she go? Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit different in style. I had trouble finding one that I really liked. I really don't know what she's wearing. She kind of looks witchy, zombie-ish. It's an illustration that I'm referencing. I don't know who did it. I think it's by, the name on it's just Crayon, spelled Craiyon, which I don't think is the way you spell crayon. So it's someone's name. But yeah, this one's going to be a little something different. Brushy brush. Going in with, first of all, for the background, I am using efile from the nail, number 74. And we're going to start with a dark gray. I need a dark gray. Magical Times. And it should be a surprise to no one, if I can find my brush, that I'm going to start out with the general shape and size of her head. I don't know what's on the middle of the nail. It doesn't matter. It's going to get covered up. Right, we've got her head. I'm going to go in and put in her ears, which are kind of messed up and ragged, and I don't know what is going on with them. Is she a zombie? I don't know. I'm going to wipe away the center of, let me use a smaller brush, the center of her head to kind of mark out where her headpiece comes in. Just using a little bit of acetone. All right, pop that in for the cure. Okay, we've got Kuromi's head put in. We've got, I think I may have to widen it a little bit, but we'll come back to that. I want to put her dress in, more of a cloak. So I'm going to go ahead and take some more of this brown, gray. We know our colors. And we're just going to dab it in underneath her chin and bring it down kind of in a loose, flowy way. Her elbow is coming out at the side. And it's going to go off the nail on both sides. All right, so I'm trying to process how to go about some of the features in this representation because it's somewhat watercolorish, and I don't know if I can necessarily replicate it without going into my alcohol inks, which I'm not sure if I want to do. Maybe. So for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and outline Kuromi and put in some more of the features. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Rough outlines, some thicker, some thinner lines. Kind of be a little loose and laissez-faire about it. My hand is cramping. Okay, so Kuromi is holding something, I think, in her hands. So I'm just kind of put in the rough shape of it, and then I'll outline it. And then her little insignia on top of her head. And she's carrying or dragging some kind of scarf or blanket. It always makes me nervous putting in the eyes because if the eyes are wrong, the whole thing looks wrong. I don't have room for the mouth. Okay, so I want to try to make a waterish color pigment. I'm taking some of the pink and I'm taking some alcohol and I'm thinning it out. I'm just going to kind of swirl it in. And then I'm going to take some of the shadow black and mix it in as well. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do a wash of shadow to bring in some depth. I'm going to go into the corners and just bring it up. Fade it out a bit. Kind of make it look like we're... If you want to add a little bit more depth, you can mix in some more black with it. All right, Deb, here are your 3 nails. I hope you enjoy them. As I said earlier, this is going to be a one-off. Obviously, I can't do specialty nails for everyone's birthdays, although I would love to. I wanted to do another Hello Kitty set, and she mentioned loving Hello Kitty and it being her birthday, so I figured I would bring them all together one more time, at least for now, and see what I could do. Like I said before, the Hello Kitty one in the pumpkin is my favorite. I think she turned out the best. And I love Kuromi. She's definitely my favorite character over all of them. She's a bit spunky, and I love spunk. And Melody, I like it, but I think I could have done it a little bit better. But let me know which one is your favorite. And if you like this video, please hit that like and do subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available. And once again, Deb, I hope you have a very wonderful, happy, Hello Kitty filled birthday. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.